Hello, everybody. My name is Kevin Nix, and welcome back to NASCAR Mailbox. The NASCAR Cup Series and Xfinity Series raced at the Iowa Speedway this past weekend, where William Byron stretched his fuel to score his first victory since the Daytona 500 in February. So it's been about 5 months since he's gone to victory lane. There were a lot of drivers who had great runs today that you did not think were going to. Brad Keselowski had one of his best runs of the entire season. Bubba Wallace charged from 32nd to 6th on the last run after getting damage in the final stage. With that said, today's question relates somewhat to Brad Keselowski. It's about his team, RFK Racing, and two of his drivers, Chris Buescher and Ryan Preece. They are separated by 23 points for the last spot. Who will prevail in 3 weeks before the playoffs begin, or will neither driver make it and we get a new winner at Daytona? I do think Buescher is going to make it over Ryan Preece, and for two reasons. But first, I'll talk about the last part of the question. We are not going to get a new winner. I know Daytona is a crapshoot, and that as long as your engine cranks, you have a chance to win the race, especially with how luck-based track races today. Like, it's not the same as Atlanta. It's not even the same as how it was with the Gen 6 package. So, as long as you're in the right place at the right time, you can win at Daytona. And we saw that last year with Harrison Burton, who was 34th in points before he won, and it locked him into the playoffs. With that said, though, I don't think that's going to happen this year. I do think it's going to be one of the same winners that we have already had. Like I said, I think Chase Elliott could be a really good pick to win at Daytona. I think Ryan Blaney's another one. Obviously, Joey Logano can't be counted out there either, and we all know how good Austin Cindric is at super speedways. So there's a lot of drivers who have won this year that I think have a really good chance of winning at Daytona as well. So I don't think we're going to get a new winner. That leaves the points. So Buescher and Preece, one of them is going to point their way in, the other one is not going to. And I point to this weekend at Watkins Glen. Chris Buescher won this race last year. I don't think he's going to win it this year, but I do think he's going to have a strong run. I don't think Preece is as strong in the road courses as Chris Buescher is. And then Preece's luck factor at Daytona is also, let's just say, much to be desired. Buescher has won at the track. Preece has flipped twice. Ryan Preece actually flipped like an airplane, launched into the sky like an airplane in the Daytona 500 this year. So I think Buescher is a bit of a better road racer. He is better at Daytona than Preece is. He's luckier than Preece. So I think Ryan Preece needs to do more, or he needs Buescher to screw up a little bit in order to get himself into the playoffs. Preece's average finish is also a position and a half behind Buescher at this point in the season. So there's a lot of factors that work in the 17's favor, where I think he's going to point his way in over the 60. I don't know if it's going to come down to the last race. It likely will come down to the last race of Daytona. And like I said, Buescher has a win at the track, and Ryan Preece has flipped twice. So he has been quite the unlucky driver, and at a track that is so dependent on luck nowadays. Buescher has tons of it. Preece does not have enough of it. So I feel pretty strong about my pick of Buescher making the playoffs over the 60 and over the rest of the field behind him. Thank you all for watching this week's edition of NASCAR Mailbox. My name is Kevin Nix, and we have a full slate of racing this weekend at Watkins Glen International, ARCA, Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup. So I hope everyone enjoys the racing this weekend. Bye-bye.
All right, so one final thing I wanted to talk to you about. Well, two things, actually. First of all, you're nominated for the Hall of Fame. May take you more than a year or two. Sometimes it does that. But being named one of the 75 greatest drivers in NASCAR history, out of the hundreds, probably a couple of thousand people who've raced in NASCAR in the top three levels, what did that mean to you?
I really thought I pissed them off a few times.
Well, I know you did that. But
yeah, I know. So
you're not alone in that.
Yeah, I was quite surprised and very honored. You know, I mean, that's no small task, and it's just you don't go into it when you're 18, because I had to wait till I was 18 to start. I never thought I was going to be in the Hall of Fame. You know, and then growing up, you see the guys. I would go to the racetracks and you see the black jackets and New England Auto Racing or Hall of Fame guys. And I was, that guy's an old racer. Oh, that guy's an old racer. that guy's an old racer. Well, now I got one of those jackets. I'm one of those old racers.
You're still young at heart. I know that. So don't worry about that.